Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another webinar on our new release. My name is Tatiana. I'm the Education Training and Engagement Specialist here at SpacesEDU. Today, we're exploring our May release, so any new enhancements, updates that were made this past month. We'll be diving into those in a moment. So just really quickly to recap the agenda, we'll go through the overview of the May release elements, and then also just give you a quick sneak peek of what's coming up in August, which is when our next release is set. For this past month, there was a bit more updates made to the reporting space, mainly here, notably in the back end of things. And this is to help streamline the process of setting up reporting spaces for your educators so that they're able to meet those curriculum mandates and those district objectives based on the reporting order, et cetera, et cetera. So one of the additional elements that we've included are additional support. So now district administrators can request to have additional supports added in the back end so that teachers are able to then have them listed and available within individual students' reporting spaces. So what this would look like is your district administrator would have a list of additional supports. So this could be things like IEP, ELL, etc., available in the backend. And as the educator, you would be able to select which ones you would want to appear in the student's summary within their reporting space. As a district, you are able to add up to 20 additional supports in the backend with a character limit of 60. So this really allows you to support or meet those reporting requirements, and that is the case for many of our districts. And we know that some students may need that extra support or accommodations, and we wanted to make sure that was made available within the reporting space student summary printout. Next is the centrally added areas of learning. So essentially what this does is helps district administrators create a template for educators to work from when they're setting up reporting spaces. So previously educators had to manually enter those key areas of learning, setting up within their reporting space settings. But with the centrally added areas of learning, this takes care of things for the educator. So they would just have to enter their comments, their observations, and wouldn't have to think of what those areas of learning need to be within that printout. So this ensures that teachers are creating reports according to district and regional requirements, and again, allows for a much quicker setup in just a couple of clicks, really streamlining the reporting process for you within the platform. So district administrators will have the opportunity to set or define a set of areas of learning for their schools. So that includes 20 maximum in the back end. And on top of that, teachers can add additional ones if they wish, up to 20 within their students' reporting space. In addition to these awesome updates, we have also introduced a new fix here to prevent concurrent editing issues. We recently identified a bug in the reporting space where edits by multiple teachers led to unintentional overwriting or deletion of each other's content. So only one teacher at a time will be able to update a student's individual space or even update the reporting space settings. So this ensures that all teachers' contributions to a student's reports are saved. There will be alerts, pop-ups, you know the drill, to make sure that you are aware of what's happening and why you're restricted from certain actions within the reporting space. That way your comments get saved accordingly. So if we're taking a peek here at a reporting space, this would indicate that the edit report section here is unavailable because another co-teacher in the class is currently editing the report. So you won't be able to do this until that co-teacher has exited their window, and therefore allowing you to continue or to start editing that student's report. Furthermore, you'll see these little statements here, letting you know who is working on on which students' reporting space as well. So if there are multiple co-teachers, you may see these being flagged to you within the reporting space as well. And again, you will not have access to editing those students in question until the teacher has exited their window. And that is also the case for reporting space settings. If a teacher is within the reporting space settings, making any changes to, let's say, the areas of learning, or even adding additional supports, or the summary statement headings, whatever the case may be here, you will not be able to edit any student's reporting space because we want to make sure that their changes are reflected within the student's reporting spaces here, and ensuring that those headings are up to date, essentially. So once the teacher has saved their reporting space settings, you will be able to go into any individual's reporting space here and enter your comments accordingly. So that was pretty much it for the reporting space updates. And now I wanted to move on to other updates that were made and enhancements in this release, one of them being an accessibility update. We are trying to make sure that the product remains accessible. So we have improved the alternative text within SpacesEDU to better support screen readers, which is great. And in addition to the accessibility update, there are other enhancements and updates here. There are two in particular I wanted to call out, one of them being our certification program being promoted under the People tab. So if you didn't know, we actually have a self-paced program here available at SpacesEDU through Otis. So you are able to sign up for a free account and get certified. So to become a certified SpacesEDU educator, you can go ahead and access this through the People tab, as you can see, and then click on the View Programs button to get started. There are 3 different levels to get certified. So this is again based on what you're utilizing SpacesEDU for, but just to summarize, level 1 is to get started with SpacesEDU. Level 2 is focusing on assessment and reporting features. And level 3 is on our portfolios feature. So highly recommend exploring that as an option to deepen your learning. And if you're in the States, you can actually gain professional development hours for completing these certificate programs. And additionally, I wanted to call out here that any classes that are manually created or created in the future will include a student account. That means your own student account. So you're able to switch from your teacher and student account within your class to really be able to test out those features and experience the platform from a student's point of view. And that is one of the greatest tools and tips here that I could provide to make sure that you're familiarized with the platform, and it allows you to test out all the different features, and notably the visibility settings, posts, spaces, the space types, etc. So definitely recommend leveraging the student account here. Okay, so let me actually jump in to the space here to show you other updates. One update that I wanted to showcase here is the messages feature. So let's actually head into the messages tab to show you. So when you're about to create a new message, let's click on this plus message button here in the bottom right corner. You're now able to select all. So if you wanted to have a separate message thread where you include all people within your class, there's a select all button now, which is awesome. And you're able to include a message title. So it acts like a subject title here. So you could have a more targeted communication thread. It could be about reminders. So reminder, field trip next Friday. So definitely excellent for reminders and announcements, and then you can type in your message. All right, so let's say we are reminding students and families to submit their permission slips for next Wednesday. This would be a great way to engage or remind people within the messages tab here. Next would be a small little update in activities, but I still think it would be really worthwhile to mention here. So if we go into the activities tab and let's say I'm going to submit an activity on behalf of a student, you'll notice that the title will automatically be filled based on the title that you've given your activity. So there is no thinking required on behalf of the student. This will be automatically copied over. Same thing for yourself. So if you are going to be submitting activities on behalf of students, this is a field that you won't have to worry about. So that pretty much wraps up the updates from the May release. Let's move on and talk a bit about the August release. So there is going to be a major facelift and revamp of the teacher account here, or just the account experience in general when it comes to SpacesEDU. We are calling it back to basics. So the goal here is to simplify navigation and making sure the interface is more intuitive, especially for new users. So you will notice that when you log in to your SpacesEDU account this fall, that the starting point will look different. So previously you would enter the feed, which we realized did cause a bit of confusion for some educators. So the new starting point will be the Spaces tab moving forward. And we're also going to be categorizing all our assessment tools within a dedicated assessment tab. So now you won't have to do any guesswork figuring out where all your assessment pieces live. So if you are interested in seeing this all in action, or you just want a refresher about the account exploration, I would highly recommend joining us at our Back to School Summit this August. August 20th is actually when we're going to be hosting our Back to School Summit. I'm really excited about the event. We're welcoming some SpacesEDU educators on the panel. They're going to be sharing their best practices, their experiences with the platform, how they implement it in the classrooms. So if you're looking to learn from other educators, this would be a great opportunity for you to join us on August 20th. To sign up, I would recommend looking at our June newsletter that was shared with you recently. That would include the sign up link. You may also find it promoted in our socials as well, so feel free to sign up now. In addition to the back to basics navigation revamp, you will also notice that the posting process has changed as well. So we've eliminated some fields to reduce the number of clicks. So there won't be any post type selection required for teachers. That is sort of auto-filtered and auto-selected for you as you're creating specific posts. And of course, our most highly anticipated and highly requested feature is the grade books, our standards-based grade book. That is, that we are calling the growth book. That is definitely a feature that our whole team is really excited about. We are going to be speaking to this at the Back to School Summit as well. But of course, if you are interested to seeing that in action, I highly recommend checking out our resources on our website this fall. You'll find video tutorials and any Help Center articles as well. to make sure that you're able to utilize it to its full potential. Other than that, I'd like to thank you for watching this video today, for joining us on exploring the new May release. If you have any questions about specific features, please contact our support team at hello@spacesedu.com. We are also available on socials if you'd like to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and listen to our podcast, Growth Over Grades, as well. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope to see you at the Back to School Summit. Take care. Bye-bye.